What is up, everybody? Good evening and happy Tuesday. It's September 2nd, 2025. We're coming off a eventful weekend at Darlington. We kicked off the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. Chase Briscoe put himself ahead of the field. He wins the race, advances to the next round automatically. Corey Heim was the dominant guy in the Truck Series race. Had some comers and goers there, but Corey Heim has shown he is the guy in the Craftsman Truck Series. The Xfinity Series was all the way over in Portland. They had a fantastic road course showing. At least the end of the race got a little bit chaotic, and Connor Zilich was the one who came out on top and exited his car safely. That was the most important thing there. So, got a lot to talk about. Got a lot of stuff going on with the playoffs. Got a lot of stuff coming up with the playoffs as well. The Xfinity Series, they're not there yet. The Truck Series are in the playoffs. The Cup Series just had their first race. It's going to be a fun show tonight. So, welcome to the Motor Stardom Show presented by Denti. Make sure you continue to use code Maggio15, not Magoo15. It is Maggio15, always for your Denti Energy Pouches products on Amazon. So, got a lot to talk about here. Let's bring in Mason Maggio. Let's bring in Stephen Malazzi's chair or foot. Geez, what the heck?
Yeah, baby. Dale Jr. Hey, dudes, look at these things. $10 on TikTok Shop. They're doing my boy dirty because these things should be worth millions.
Those are $10 on TikTok Shop.
Wow. I had a 50% coupon. So they're having a 30% flash sale, and then I had a 50% coupon, so I got them for $10.
It's pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay,
I've got some Christmas gifts off of TikTok Shop.
Anyway, wait. Good evening, Checkered Flag Dan. Never can let my boy go unnoticed. Also, hey guys, love you both. How we doing?
Doing good, man.
You guys are looking so cute. I'm in the dad tee right here. I took off all my dress clothes. It's been a brutal day for Stephen J. Down in the exhaustion pits. The weekend was crazy. I was in the airport before the truck race even ended at Darlington. That's a pretty impressive thing to do. Charlotte International is 2 hours away from the racetrack. So I was digging. Otherwise, had a great Labor Day weekend. Played some terrible golf. Went down the beach. What about you? What did you guys do? How are we doing?
Well, Mason, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I mean, raced Darlington. Had a calm and relaxing weekend. Went out after the truck race, but it was revitalizing. Yesterday was weird, having to work with people who were off Labor Day, but we're also still working Labor Day, so that was a really interesting balance. But other than that, we're back in the swing of things, ready to hopefully rebound and have a much better day at Bristol than we had at Darlington. So, yeah. But RJ, what did you have in store?
Wait, no, shout out Kevin too, real quick. Shout out Kevin. Kevin called me and was the only one who told me that there were plans to go out after Darlington. Nobody else told me. Not Mason Maggio. Mason Maggio did not invite me. It was a phone call from Kevin and Lena. So shout out those guys. RJ, what'd you do?
That's not
true.
Yeah,
well, watched Darlington. Enjoyed it. Watched the Southern 500. Had a good time. Certainly thrilling finish. And then Monday, yesterday already, celebrated my 21st birthday. So
yeah, birthday boy.
Cue the graphic.
We're so bad. We're back like it's never been done before.
Oh, we are so back. Also,
we're putting it all on red.
I felt really bad that I did not text you on your birthday, but I forgot, so I figured I would wait for the Motor Stardom show today for your birthday.
Appreciate it.
Because it's a big celebration.
Plus
21 years old. Did you go and put $20 on good old double deuces for Stephen J? Did you do that for me?
The hell would I bet on Stephen J for?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Nothing against you. I mean, we know the stakes here. No, I didn't go to the casino for the first time last night. Yeah, it didn't go too well. Anyways,
lost millions. Yeah, that's what happens.
60. We're on a low scale here.
So it's our final episode because RJ decided to bet everything, including the show.
Put the budget on
slot to red.
We're now owned by Hard Rock Casino. Hard Rock Casino, your number one place to bet in the state of Florida. There are new owners. Where do we want to start? Truck, Xfinity, Cup. I got opinions all across the board. I'm ready to rock and roll.
We got to start big. We got to start with the big boys. We got to start with Mr. Chase Briscoe. It's always a statement when you could win the first race of the playoffs. Now, throughout the years, we've seen a lot of playoff spoilers in this race sometimes. We see guys that, last year it was the cutoff race. This year, now back to the traditional. We're opening the playoffs with the Southern 500. And, nobody can touch him. We can go on and on about, the racing, this, that, blah, blah. Either way, the fact of the matter was once he got out front, on the restarts, even when he got behind on certain restarts, they just, this was the guy. He was the guy to beat. And this is a track where he has been very good at in the Xfinity Series and clearly good in the Cup Series because he's now won 2 years in a row in the Southern 500, a crown jewel race with two different organizations. So I'll cue this graphic real quick, which I thought was interesting. He was on the Dale Jr. Download talking about the differences between the two cars, talking about how his SHR cars were basically a piece of crap. And now he's driving these JGR cars, which feels incredible. So I'm sure that's helped him. He said it's helped him with his qualifying time this year. They've just had to find their racing groove. And when you race 500 miles at Darlington and you can win and be that dominant, you've certainly found some sort of groove. So Chase Briscoe is the winner in Darlington. What do you guys think of his performance? And is he a guy that we're really going to have to watch here to make a deep run?
Yeah,
100%.
I was going to say, if you got to remember the first 6 or 7 races went about as bad as they could go for the 19 team, right? So you subtract those 7 races and focus on the last 10 or 15 of them. This has pretty much been one of the 2 best cars week in and week out. I will say this. I don't agree. I think the stats make this performance more dominating than it really was. And a lot of things happened to the guys who we would expect. Like, for example, Christopher Bell, I think probably had a car that could have won this race, but he had damage early on. He put himself behind early on. Denny Hamlin had a bad pit stop that put him behind early on. A lot of issues throughout the field for a lot of playoff guys that Blaney had an issue. Barry had an issue. A lot of issues for playoff guys this week. The thing that bothered me was I felt like Briscoe was the best car every run for 25 laps, right? And then after 25 laps, he was not. Like, he never was. He always got caught. People always caught him. We saw it at the end of the race. Reddick, JHN, Jones, all better than Briscoe at the end of that run, right? And even with that tire fall off, with that difference, still couldn't find a way to get around him. And look, I don't think that this was a bad race. Like, I'm not complaining really that much about the quality. I will say this. The fans think it was a bad race, right? Darlington, I was reading the Jeff Gluck poll stats, right? Not a great statistic, but still a statistic of a general feel of the NASCAR fan base and what we're feeling. And I get it. A lot of us are negative, but the poll's consistent. The same people who took the poll 3 years ago are generally the same people who take the poll now. Darlington, before this season, had never had a race below 70% ever in the Jeff Gluck poll. Both races this year below 70%. I think that goes and kind of speaks volume to what we're watching. Like I said, I didn't really have a problem with the domination because I think the 19 team executed better than anyone. Probably deserved to win that race. But still, like it, sometimes people deserve to win races and don't. And that really felt like it should have been one of those days for Briscoe because he was not the best at that last run right there. It just didn't matter with that freaking dirty air, man. And wait. The other thing I'll say is all the cars that had problems never recovered. Like Denny Hamlin, a master at Darlington, could not figure it out after his bad pit stop. Just could not do it. I don't even know where he finished, but it was outside the top 5. I actually don't remember where it was. But he was never up front again. He was never even close. I don't even think he ever touched the top 5 again. So, yeah. Anybody else want to go? Because I took 3 minutes there.
Yeah, I feel like this is the opportunity that Chase Briscoe deserves, quite frankly. He's excelled to a whole new limelight. We're seeing a whole different Chase Briscoe than what we're used to seeing, right? And the stats speak for themselves. Yeah. I believe like 6 poles this year, 2 wins. And I always felt like Chase was a really great race car driver, but just didn't have all the pieces of the puzzle at SHR to put it together week in and week out. And now he has that. And obviously he spoke very highly about the opportunity that he has on the Dale Jr. Download. talking about how him and his guys are meshing really well, and they're setting it up to how he likes, and they're executing basically every single week and putting themselves in contention every single week. I mean, I feel like this is the most we've talked about Chase Briscoe in the last couple of years since he's moved to the Cup Series. So, I mean, honestly, and Darlington historically has been a very good track for him between Xfinity, obviously winning last year in the Cup Series, which is SHR's final win as an organization. So, there was no question in my mind that he was going to be a guy that was going to be in contention. It was just a matter of, hey, are they going to be able to execute and make things happen? And they did. And I do agree with you, Steven. They had a great short run car, but on the long run, they were definitely falling off and not quite where they needed to be. But at the end of the day, they made it happen, right? So, and that's what matters is nobody cares about how you got it, where you got it. They just look at the stats and say, hey, Chase Briscoe is a back-to-back winner at the Southern 500. So, props to Chase and that JGR team. They've really done a great job this year, and I think they're going to continue to get better. And I think Chase is going to be a name you're going to see in conversations more and more, not just this year, but I think in the near future as well.
Yeah, I mean, and you go back, right? I'm just looking at the stats here. You go back to Pocono, and his finishes are first, right? And I think it's the last 10. First at Pocono, wrecked at Atlanta. Chicago is always hard, right? We'll say that. Then it was second, 18th at Indy, second, 5th, 13th at Richmond, not too bad. 23rd at Daytona. He had I think he was in one of the million of, I think he was just in the middle of the pack the whole day. And then wins at Darlington. And he's pretty much been up front in all of those races. But dating back now the last 8, that's 5 top 5s, including 3 second place finishes and a win, right? So I think this 19 team is hitting their stride at the perfect time. Maybe a little early, but gotta be near the top of the list in terms of championship contenders. The Hendrick cars have not been quick at all. They've had some problems the past few weeks. They just have not really looked like the dominant Hendrick cars we're used to. So I mean, to me, Joe Gibbs Racing Machines are the favorites across the board here.
Yeah, I think JGR always shows why they're the best, the cream of the crop. Hendrick's fallen off a little bit, which is very interesting. We knew Kyle Larson had a skid. People were talking about Chase Elliott all year. I didn't really agree with everything said about the 9 car because they've been at least consistent. But, with the system and everything, you need to be winning in these last 10 races. William Byron was the points leader all year long, regular season champion. But we want to see him have a little bit more speed. And then the 48's just a disaster, quite frankly. That team has had speed here and there, obviously barely squeezed into the playoffs, but then you don't have speed at Darlington. They didn't show up with speed at all. Hendrick really didn't at all. Now the 48 team really didn't whatsoever. And then they go and absolutely blow it off on pit road. We'll look at that video later. I got that queued up. I know, Mason, you were going to chime in there. What'd you have to say?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think for Hendrick, it's certainly been a disappointing couple of weeks. They haven't showed up with quite the speed compared to the JGR cars and some of their other competitors. So, I mean, it's a little concerning, right? But I do agree with you. Chase has been quietly consistent, as we'll call it. The 24 team has kind of been the flagship car this year, in my opinion. I mean, Byron's just got it made, you know what I mean? And thank you, Seamus. I appreciate it. Shout out, Seamus. That's my dog. But dude, no, I mean,
what's funny? I actually can't even tell that story, to be honest. So I got it. But there is a story behind that, which is really funny.
That was hilarious, Steven. That was funny.
There's a couple great stories in there that are.
It's for another day.
For another day. Anyways, keep it rolling, Mason.
But no, I mean the Hendrick cars, at the beginning of the year, had speed. Byron's been leading, and been the flagship guy all year long, and Kyle's been a very close second this year. I feel like it hasn't quite been the year for the 5, but again, I feel like with the 5 car, the biggest struggle that Kyle has, and he's obviously one of the most talented race car drivers that we have in the series right now, is consistency. He's never historically been consistent since his move to Hendrick. It's been, either he's up front and he's giving it all he's got to win the race, or he's wrecking trying. And that's another thing that we've struggled with. And like you said, RJ, I mean, the 48 has just had an abysmal season. Has hardly ever been in the conversation at all, which is disappointing, I'm sure, for Alex and the 48 guys. And Chase is slowly turning it around. I know he got a win this year, finally broke that winless streak. That's been kind of been a dark cloud over him for a while now, and people have been wondering about that. But I mean, it's not quite the year that organization is used to. They're used to being in contention from start to finish in the playoffs. So definitely need a big change.
Wait a second. I can't let this go on any further. Let's not be dramatic. All right, that's my job on this show. That's not your job on this show. That's my job on this show. The Hendrick cars were still all in the top 6 except for Bowman in the standings going into this, and they're still Larson's 3rd, Byron's 6th, Elliott's 11th. We're not dead. It was one bad race. I was just saying, comparatively speaking, they're always at the top. I will say this: there are 2 things I have to say. The 4th car at each of those organizations needs some work. And I don't know if that's a driver change. I don't know if it's a crew chief change. I don't know if they just need to figure out a way to run a 4th organization. Both those teams have something else. RJ Larson was going to have a great day. Larson was going to be top 5 probably. He had top 5 speed. He sustained some damage on a restart that really seemed to hurt the aero of that car and dropped like a rock on that last run. Bowman got back to the lead lap. Somebody said we threw it all the way on a pit stop, right? They didn't. They got back to the lead lap and still ran 29th. Like, it just was – that car was just god-awful. So,
yeah.
And it's funny because we really do see the same thing with Ty Gibbs at Gibbs, right? Like, and I think more people would be less adverse to a driver argument there. Maybe not. I don't know what the gauge is on Bowman and Gibbs. But
focus down here, these 2 gentlemen.
Yeah,
so there's the issue on the
peek.
right side. Look, they grab the hose. They realize there's an issue. It's unhooked. It's in the guy's hand. So now he goes in, he plugs it in. Remember, total confusion
And
over the
Mr. H probably having a meltdown about this stop because this is just pure lack of preparation here, right?
Reach forward. He's going to point to tell him to go back, urging him to say, hey, the gun works. He's pointing, and then all of a sudden right here, thumbs up. He's giving him the thumbs up. But the communication
what are we doing?
To go into the spare gun.
So absolute W analysis by Steve Letarte.
Absolutely.
Once again, it's still going to be.
And to be fair, to clarify my point, like it's just, geez, I can't. It's just such an abysmal stop. I have not seen anything like that bad in a long time. But I guess to make my point is, I'm not saying they've fallen off a rock, right? But what I'm saying is it's not the Hendrick Motorsports that we're used to seeing as the playoffs start. They've been consistent, but it's like that consistency is not what's going to make Hendrick Motorsports, great. Like what they're great for is historically being absolutely badass week in and week out and putting themselves in contentions for wins and championships week in and week out. It's not over, but there is room for improvement. Is more or less what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think so for sure. And when we look at this graphic, some things stick out to me. Some positive, some negative. We'll start with the positive here. 23-11. Beautiful day at Darlington. Tyler Reddick, to have the regular season they had, the points deficit he was kind of in, now he's plus 35. A fantastic day. Probably with the speed they had at the end of the race, right? Probably could have won that race, Bubba Wallace, plus 25. Also, awesome day for them. Gateway's such an unknown. We know it's Penske dominated potentially, but now at this time of year, what's it going to look like? We'll see. Ryan Blaney, they had an issue, but with all those points they had, still able to rally back, plus 22. Great day for Ross Chastain as well. Then kind of on the negative side, you look to the other side, SVG, they had a shot to have a decent race. They were running around P20. They were clocking some good speed. He was complaining about his car all day long or all night long, and then they messed up. The strategy just didn't fall their way. They tried to do something different. Caution comes out. Their race is done. So now plus 3 on the cut line. Looking real rocky for them. Austin Dillon started the race out really well, ended really badly in typical RCR fashion, although Kyle Busch is sometimes the opposite. Alex Bowman, we just went over that. Joey Logano -3. They just didn't have speed all race. You know, I think Gateway is going to have to be a huge showing for Penske and for Joey Logano's team. Josh Berry's, we can roll that clip really quick. That just wasn't ideal. Hit a bottomed out, he said. Wrecked on the first lap, which is definitely not how you want to go out at Darlington. You know, but we got a few people. Is there anyone you look at this, Steven? I know we talked about it last week, and you were like, okay, I got 4 drivers that I think are guaranteed out. 3 of them, I believe that you said are below. Was it Barry, Bowman, Dillon, SVG? Was that your 4?
Yeah, no. Barry, Dillon, Cindric, and SVG.
Okay, you had.
And I actually said either Cindric or Bowman because I said that Gateway is a great track for Penske. And that I thought that if Bowman had a problem, it could be Bowman. So you can.
Do you think Barry's out? Do you think this is it for Barry? You think that was his shot?
This is it for Barry. This is it for Dillon, and this is it for SVG. Right? Like, I mean, I said it all year. I don't care how many points he has. He is so far below what these playoff guys can do, because you got to realize that 8 of these guys are going to finish in the top 10 pretty much every race. And actually, Darlington was an outlier where only 6 did. 5 did. Not that many playoff drivers were in the top 10.
Shout out Legacy Motor Club.
Yeah, because Busch was in there. Nemechek was in. Hocevar was in there.
Oh, yeah.
Jones was in there. Allmendinger was in there. So there's a bunch of playoff. Buescher was in the top 10. Basically, no one in the playoffs finished in the top 10, and SVG's gap to the cut line is gone. It's gone. And we still have 2 more races to go. I'm sorry. He's not ready on ovals yet. He's too dominant to not be in the Cup Series full-time on road courses. I absolutely think his spot is earned because he's not a hazard at ovals, but he's not championship caliber. He's not good enough on ovals to carry himself through a championship window, even with 30 playoff points to go. The interesting one really is Cindric Bowman. I think Bowman's maybe now 31 points is a big swing. I don't think you're knocking out Bell. I mean, he was one of the best cars at Darlington. I don't think you're knocking out Chase. And like anybody else, you're looking at 21, 22 points for a lot of these guys at least. And I just don't think it's happening. I think Logano will figure it out too. Again, Gateway is a Penske track. You look at the average finish for the past 3 seasons at Gateway, it's basically Penske. Oh, wow. Way to be prepared. It is literally Penske. It is literally Penske. Then it's Bell, who I just said is going to be fine, with Larson, who I also think is going to be fine, and then Blaney. So I'm not worried about these guys at all.
AJ Allmendinger. Shout out AJ Allmendinger. I love doing shout outs on the show. Big finish at Darlington, and clearly he's a dog at Gateway as well, man. If he just got a road course win this year, man, think about where he could be at.
Yeah, you want to talk about you asked me if Josh Berry was done. Look at this list. Look at the bottom of it.
Yeah.
So,
I think some things happened to lead to that, but clearly.
Yeah, you're right. That I shouldn't mislead people, but it's just it is what it is, right? So
not great for Bubba Wallace so far, for sure, or Alex Bowman.
Yeah. I think Bubba. Bubba has something that he hasn't. He seems more composed this year than he has in the years past. I think that 23 team is also in a good stretch where they're in stride. Even Reddick's not great here, but there's an outlier. Like, you got to remember, outliers ruin the stats. Like, Denny Hamlin is probably 2nd or 3rd on this list, but he's got a 34th thrown in there from an issue. Yeah. So, yeah.
The Ross Chastain year.
Yes. Oh, God. Classic. Talk about a throwback. Also, Kyle Busch is really good here, too. Like, there's a lot of guys.
He's won here before. So.
Yes. And I think he can do it again.
Yeah, I think just for the fact of the free chips and queso, I would be interested in seeing Kyle Busch.
And we get free tendies still with the win.
If I had a Cheddar's near me, I would be chowing down on some chips and queso right now. There's nothing, in my opinion, there's nothing better than chips and queso. Gotta love it.
I mean, just imagine the aura. The aura, you're telling your server, like, hey, man, I'm getting the free chips and queso because Kyle Busch got a top 8, and then he comes around to ask for your food, and you're like, I'm getting free tenders too because Kyle Busch won at Gateway. Now, I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen, but
hey, really, man, you never know.
I'm actually feeling as good about Kyle Busch as I have in a long time.
Yeah.
So,
You're
I feel
feeling
like
Kyle Busch?
I feel like he's hitting. I feel like he's got to do it. He's not done. I hate it, man. I hate it for Kyle Busch. Like, also though, like it didn't make him. He's not a villain anymore. Like everybody likes Kyle Busch. Everybody wants Kyle Busch to win again. Like you said it like 5 years ago. Everybody's like, Kyle Busch. You know what I mean? Everybody's like, yeah, Kyle Busch.
The ovation will be insane. It's great. Like it's crazy how things turn around like that, because I think in times like I think it would have been not the same. I think this is greater, honestly, maybe. But Jimmy Johnson, if he would have won a race in 2020, and broken his winless streak, especially in his final year, right? People they didn't hate Jimmy Johnson, but it was like, Jimmy Johnson winning. Like that was the last thing people wanted to see when we were going through the 2000s, early 2010s. And then we got to 2020 and everyone's excited for Jimmy Johnson to win. That's where we're at with Kyle Busch. And it's cool to see the tides change, because I think over time you just gain respect for the person, and especially all of us when we were younger, it's easier to hate on people. And then when you grow up, you kind of have more of a respect. I felt the same about Tom Brady and the Patriots. I freaking hated the Patriots, man. I hated Tom Brady. I hated the Patriots. I mean, I don't really love the Patriots anymore, but like Tom Brady as a person, I guess it helped when he came to Tampa, and then I got to be part of that Tom Brady life. But then as I got older, I was like, oh, okay, Tom Brady's a dog. I'd love to see him go out with a chip, at age like 47, whatever he was. But yeah, Kyle Busch winning would be an insane ovation. I think like the crowd would go crazy per se. Checker Flag Dan's got a great idea.
Oh my God!
Imagine the
Mason Maggio at 513. Maggio thought I was gonna drop his phone number in the chat.
No.
Should I do it?
Man.
Should I tweet Mason Maggio's phone number?
I've been thinking about an episode like this. For you guys watching, I've been thinking about doing some sort of episode where we just let you guys come in here and rip takes with us at some point. So as we're going here in the playoffs, it'll come sooner rather than later. Before we jump into our next topic, just before I forget, can we confirm our guest next week, Stephen?
Are we saying it's Josh Ryan?
No, you've said that like 10 times and it hasn't happened.
Yeah.
I think he's schizophrenic.
Yes. I am. I would not say it out loud yet, but I am fairly certain he is coming.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Well, yes. Our potential guest is racing this weekend at Gateway. So y'all take a great guess at who it might be.
I don't think I even know. That's how far out of the loop I am, I think. Unless RJ and Steven are keeping secrets from me, then I might take that as a little bit of disrespect.
We didn't want to tell you when Carson Hocevar comes on next week.
Jeez. No, that's not.
Probably the best. And with that, I'm skipping next week. No explanation.
No, it's not it.
It's not. I promise.
I feel like we can. Okay, I'm just gonna go it. We are working on hopefully getting LeVar Scott on the show next week. That is the goal. We will confirm everything. He's racing this weekend at Gateway. Got a lot of cool stuff planned for him. He's had a great ARCA season and has been doing some races for Alpha Prime this year. Raced at Dover, and now he's getting his second start at Gateway. So hopefully we will be able to chat with him after that awesome weekend. Speaking of, though, let's talk about this little skirmish that we had during the race. Carson Hocevar went out. He said he's not making friends, doesn't really have friends in the racing industry, hangs out with his iRacing people, and hey, good for him. Props to you. But clearly a lot of people aren't very happy with him. And Chase Elliott was one of them. Chase Elliott, they bang doors down the straightaway. A few laps later, make contact again. That time it looked like it was initiated by Hocevar. And then he said this about how he doesn't care who he drives for, which a lot of people found like, oh, doesn't Hendricks apply this? I think Byron came on the radio and said that Hocevar was racing Byron really hard for position. And Byron came on the radio and was like, don't we give them shit? And they were like, oh yeah, just keep going. But yeah, what do you make of playoff driver and Hocevar having a little skirmish during the race? Anybody?
He got into it with everybody.
Yeah, I mean, he had everything but the snack bar. All right,
like Chris Buescher. I don't have the
new. This is nothing new to anybody in the industry.
Yeah.
Poor Chris Buescher. I don't have the clip.
Also,
but
can I just say, like, I obviously have never really interacted with him except for the time he flipped me off at Mid-Ohio on track. As a fan, as somebody who watches racing, I don't hate the way he drives. Like, it makes it so much more interesting that way. You need a Carson Hocevar. You do. If he starts winning races, he can reach Kyle Busch status, but he's got to start winning first. The problem that people have with him, like why he's not a villain yet, is because he's not winning, right? He's like, I think he's 25th in points right now, and it's hard to be a villain when you're finishing, 18th or 16th, right?
Yeah.
I actually really think Carson Hocevar winning would be phenomenal for NASCAR. I do. I root for him. I hope he wins because I hope we get that villain figure back. Also, crazy poll here. Crazy poll. I show speed.
That was not on my bingo card for this year.
Not on my bingo card.
Not at all.
We were just there like 4 days before this.
Yeah.
Well, and they go ahead and pull that off. That was crazy. But yeah, I agree with what you're saying about Carson. It's not that villain status because he's not winning, right? Will he get to that point? I think we all believe so. In the right situation, if things continue to progress for Spire Motorsports, they can get better stuff, or he, eventually jump ship at some point in his career. Who knows? But I think he's at that point where Ross Chastain was years ago. That's what people are comparing it to. But the main difference here is when Ross Chastain was approached about it, he more so was, all right, sorry, like, didn't mean to do it. I made a mistake, like, hey, this is how I'm going to drive, but I'm sorry, Carson Hocevar is like, screw you guys, like, he's like, this is how I drive and you guys are going to like it. I'm not friends with any of you and you guys are going to suck it. That's basically what Carson Hocevar, that's the main difference here between those two, which is very interesting. And again, they were also in different spots. Ross Chastain was winning races, competing for a championship that year too. Made the Final Four by driving full throttle on the wall in Martinsville. But, I think that's the main difference for me. Do you guys see any more differences between him and Ross Chastain from where he was at in 2022?
I do. The difference is, at least in my eyes, during specifically Ross's campaign, right, is he worked his ass off to get in that seat, to get that opportunity, or the opportunities rather, to be a more competitive equipment, right? Driving for primarily small teams, particularly JD Motorsports when they were still around and they were, doing a lot with a little, right? But and he wanted to keep that, right? Roston feels like he doesn't have a guaranteed future in this for the long run. So he feels like he has to drive like that. Now, was it right a lot of the times? No, there was times where it wasn't, but I think he's realized that and he's become a better race car driver from that experience because he's learned from it and he's been able to, and he's still going out there and kicking butt, right? The difference is with Hocevar is he hasn't had to work towards anything. He's had a seat. He's had something guaranteed for the future. So, in my opinion, there's a big difference between Ross and Carson in the way that they drive. Carson's doing it because he's just a prick. But in my opinion, Ross did it because he felt like but in my opinion, Ross did it because he felt like he needed to prove himself, which he's realized that, hey, I don't. As long as I just keep driving fast and utilizing my opportunity, I'm going to be here for as long as I can and still winning races, still kicking butt. He's been able to do that the last 4 years at Trackhouse, and I think he's going to be a star in the sport for a long period of time. Carson Hocevar has not had to worry about if he's got a seat or not. He's not had to worry about, tearing up equipment and other things like that. All he does is just drive through people. So that I put in my 2 cents. I don't want to go on too long and beat a dead horse, but I'm very strongly opinionated on those two sides because I truly feel like they're coming from two completely different worlds than what we're comparing it to.
I mean, you pretty much beat that horse as much as you could beat it there, for sure.
You beat the shit out of that horse.
You motherfucked that horse, for lack of a better term, man. Wow.
Sorry.
So Moving on. What do we got next, RJ?
Hold on, I'll let you guys talk. I'm queuing up something that we're going to watch here shortly. But I will
the graphic.
I will queue up something here that we can talk.
Are we
about
back?
Quick.
Are we back?
Something else. Talk about a little Legacy Motor Club for a little bit here. A third and fourth place finish. Eric Jones was on rails. We talking about Tyler Reddick getting close there to Chase Briscoe. Eric Jones arguably could have been the fastest car for phases of that last run if he could have just gotten by the 45 car. Who knows what he could have done to the 19. Interesting. It's all right. This might have been the first time we've really seen the three Toyotas, three different organizations fighting for a lead. That's kind of a cool shtick there I'm just thinking of. But
yeah.
Do you think this is a really good sign for Legacy Motor Club? Struggled last year, getting a little bit better this year. They don't make the playoffs, but the speed, it's been a little better at times this year. But a lot of people mention, hey, maybe this could be a team where if Dodge comes in, they'd be the first team to go to Dodge. Or do you think they keep riding it out with Toyota?
Well,
I don't know. I think it's interesting,
God,
right?
Roger's talking a lot today, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's finished his host of already.
Listen, we got a lot to talk about, right? For not having a guest, we still got a lot to talk about. But no, I mean, Jones has historically been, very good at Darlington. Obviously, has 2 wins for 2 different organizations. One of them was in the next gen car. So I mean, for me, Jones wasn't as big of a surprise. I was like, man, he's just a straight up wheelman when we go to Darlington. He's going to get a little bit more out of the car than a lot of people would realize. I feel like John Hunter was a little bit of a surprise for me. I feel like John Hunter is a little bit of a hit or miss, right? Like I think there's times where when they hit, he's in the top 10, in the top 15 even. When he's not, I mean, it's abysmal, right? But like I felt like Sunday night was a Saturday. I am all over the place. Holy shit. But I felt like John Hunter really proved like, hey, I deserve to be here, and I'm gonna keep fighting to get that win, right? And the whole reason that he went through that whole ladder process, going back to trucks and then back up to Cup, was to put himself in a position and put himself in an opportunity that he felt like he could excel at. And I feel like there's been several times this year where he's done exactly that and has made the most of the opportunity and is not really broken his stride. So but no, great day for both the Legacy Motor Club cars. Much needed good day. And hopefully this is a day like that is going to allow them to build some momentum towards the remainder of the season. And who knows, maybe we see them get a win before year's end.
I think what's indicative of the health of Legacy is the second car improving so much. I mean, the gap is much less substantial than it's been in the past. JHN is not as far off as honestly, times is even better than Jones, right? Like the 2 cars are much more equal than they've been. I mean, literally 3rd and 4th place, right? You literally don't get any closer. So I think that's way more indicative of the health of an organization. Like you look at a Gibbs or a Hendrick, and the top 3 cars in those organizations are all right there. So I think that's really, really important in the growth of a team. I don't think they leave Toyota. They are literally the Toyota 2 program. And I think Colleg is going to be locked in as Dodge 1. So I don't think that that's changing anytime soon.
All right. So are you guys familiar with Drewski?
Yes.
Yes. He is so funny, man.
Okay. So he was at the NASCAR race.
I think I know what you're talking about.
And we're making a quick audible here. I queued it up. Allegedly, he dropped the skit. Everyone's waiting for the skit to drop. So if I can get it rolling here, we're going to watch the Drewski skit here. Which is very interesting. A lot of people have different opinions on it. I think it's funny that he was able to make it out to a NASCAR race. Interesting time for NASCAR. We get ice show speed ripping around Daytona. All right, let's Born in the USA! Born in the USA!
Hey, Joanna.
It froze.
Yeah, it's freezing really badly.
I'm back. All right.
Wait, Checkered Flag Dan just said, check out Daniel Suarez's LinkedIn page.
I was going to comment on that. It's the Daily Downfords post about Spire Motorsports. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're all guilty of falling for a little bit of Daily Downford and the misspread of information that they conjure. So
it's all good. Right most of the time, though. So I actually know who it is. I know who Downfords is now. Ooh. I think I talked to RJ about this at Daytona.
Yes.
And people actually send him real tips, like actual stuff. Like when he posted about Honeycutt, I had just found out about Honeycutt like 10 minutes earlier. So it's clearly very new news that morning. So people are sending him real tips. So he mixes in real tips with fake tips. That's just crazy, man. Anyways,
all right.
Yeah.
Let's roll the skit. Here we go.
Hey, Joanna. Hey, come on. You need to listen to your nana. Go ahead, baby. Where are you crazy now? Hey, Mimo. How you doing, baby?
Still a little frozen. But I'll watch it later.
Hey, you lost, Bob? No, I'm race. What race? NASCAR race. You going to NASCAR? Yes, sir. A little bit. You ain't lost, did you? No, I'm going to race. Sure about that? Yes, sir. Find something safe to do, boy. Yeah. If liquor don't kill us, pussy must.
I'm really bummed that I couldn't be the first driver to invite Drewski out. It's funny, I was going to make a tweet about it, but I completely forgot. I had DM'd him at one point, and I just straight up said, I was like, yo, we got to get you out to a NASCAR race.
You DM'd Drewski?
I DM'd Drewski at one point.
Wow, Mason Maggio just made that happen.
I tried, but
I do have
obviously
a thought
I'm
on
not
that
cool
skit.
enough for him to respond or him to collaborate, but hopefully that'll change. Man, I don't know. Maybe he'll see this. Always got to be creative, fellas. That's what we're here to do. How do you think the Motor Stardom show became what it is today? Because we got creative. We brought both of our minds together to do this. Me and RJ did, and then Steven showed up, and then made it happen.
Damn.
Maggio, what the fuck are you on this episode?
Density energy pouches, baby.
Okay.
That's what.
I need nice. Good plug. Maggio 15. Use the code. Oh God, I don't even know where I'm going now. I'm starting to feel like, is this what Mason feels like on this show every week? Because that's how I'm feeling right now.
Yeah. Who pulled the Uno reverse card?
Right? Hypothetically speaking.
Wow, we almost had a spit take.
Jeez,
that's crazy.
Dude, come on.
No faith over here.
That was so inappropriate. I feel so bad about that. But
dang.
The question lead was crazy question lead. We're talking about laying back.
Talking about laying back.
I quit. I quit the Motor Stardom show.
Dude,
I quit.
One of my favorite moments of all time. That was amazing.
Okay, man. Garrett Smithley will be coming on here soon. I got confirmation today. So
wait.
You'll be
back to the Drewski clip. Was that Drewski in the clip?
Yes.
That's yeah. Where the hell did the clip go? Oh, there.
Dude, I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but I'll have to check it out.
Hey, Joanna.
I thought, I legitimately thought that it was I saw a post to him and Ty Gibbs on Twitter, and I thought somebody just photoshopped his face onto somebody else. I was clearly wrong.
The same Drewski.
I had no idea. I didn't even know this was possible. Like the
Am I
can and everything.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what I'm talking about, right?
Steven, I thought the exact same thing. For the whole Saturday or Sunday rather, as I'm literally looking at posts, I'm like, hold up.
So that's makeup.
Yeah,
it's all makeup.
This has to be the most effort he's put into his skit ever. It has to be. I mean, I can't.
Got to be. I don't know. I know this is Sunday, so I don't know the weather on Sunday, right? On Saturday, it was unfathomably hot. how is that not running all over the place? That has got to be so uncomfortable. It's crazy. Kudos, man. Way to commit to the bit for real.
Dedication
Honestly.
to the art, man. That's what it's about.
Shout out Drewski, man, for showing NASCAR some love. Maybe not in the way we'd want it to be shown, but that's fortunately still a little bit of a NASCAR reputation over there. What made him go to Darlington, South Carolina?
Well, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. It's Darlington, South Carolina. I mean,
anyway.
it's also called the Southern 500, so this really doesn't plead the case. But
yeah, they heard he was going. They heard it was called the Southern 500. So
and Michael Jordan had comments on it.
Just had to cue this real quick for the chat.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's go to some Dempsey fan questions of the week. Realize I have to cue them. We had a few, or not, sorry, they weren't questions. They were our hot takes from the weekend. Let's cue one here. Image, boom.
What?
Wow, we lost. All right, we're gonna continue anyway. Chase. Hey, we're back.
Wait a minute. I thought this was the Dempsey question.
Fire the production team, man. Yeah, this is the Dempsey hot takes. All right, we can erase the question there. Gotta do a little graphic.
Dempsey fan takes.
The Mason T says Chase Briscoe is a championship contender. Guys, what do we think?
Yes, I already said that shit. I said it like 20 minutes ago.
Okay, hear me out. I think he can get to the final 8. Final 4. I'm genuinely curious to see. I wouldn't say that's too far fetched.
Shut up, Maggio. Wrong. He's gonna. I think he's got a legit shot at the Final 4. It could play out however, but you have to remember something. Chase Briscoe also tends to be pretty good at Martinsville historically in the past, and now that him and James Small figured it out, let's see what happens. Well, no, I don't know. I got no idea, but I think it's fine. I think he's a contender. Next fan question of the day.
Fan statement of the day.
Fan statement of the day.
Wow.
Taylor Jurasek 518 says none of the Hendrick cars make it to the round of 8.
Don't even engage. Just move on. Dumbest take I've ever seen in my life.
Well, that's
Taylor, never submit a question into the motor start. No, I'm kidding. That is literally the most. I said hot takes, not I'm high on crack takes. Next.
All right, now guys, what about my bracket that I made before the start of the playoffs?
I could see it being realistic. Yeah, I mean, RJ leaked the script, guys. Sorry, you leaked the script. No, but in all seriousness, I don't think it's too far fetched. Yeah,
I can't see it.
I don't think it's too far fetched. I think it's very realistic. Yeah, I could see it. Believe it or not.
Is Maggio hallucinating? Because this has been such an out there show for him. What's going on? I still can't see it. I'll tell you what. Hang on. Give me a sec. I see uploading image 59.jpg.
All right, we're back.
Okay.
Anyways, I had a lot of faith. I had a lot of faith at SVG going through. I figured Darlington was going to be better, which it was on track to be, and then they screwed it. They messed it up. They shouldn't have done that strategy. They should have just stayed with everybody else. It wasn't a race where you were going to leapfrog anybody. Just take the 20th place finish, man. But instead, you're sub 30s or wherever he ended up. But
even
really,
those 10 points,
down to the nitty-gritty wants to get to the 8 and the 4. I think my final 4, regardless of whatever happens with the 88, 19's an interesting factor. I think you can play in here, but I went with Byron, Blaney, Bell, Hamlin, and I think Byron gets the title this year.
Yeah, I think so. Your first round, I would swap SVG, and I'm going to go Cindric. I'm actually fully convinced Cindric's making it now. Then I am knocking out Elliott, knocking out Ross, knocking out Cindric, knocking out. Give me Reddick. I'm taking Bubba to make it to the round of 8. So now I've got Bubba, Briscoe, Logano, Blaney, Bell, Hamron, Byron, Larson as my 8, right? I'll knock out, and then my final 4, give me Denny. I'm taking Denny in the final 4. And then, you know what? Also, I'll log him right now. Give me Denny Hamlin as the champion. I'm going to take Denny Hamlin as my champion.
Going to finally take it.
It's finally time.
Then give me Bell. Then give me Briscoe and give me Blaney, and I'm locking out Hendrick with the final 4.
Wow.
Who's your champ, Maj? Who's your final 4 champ?
I think I would like to see Denny Hamlin get it. I don't think Byron is a far fetch. I think he's been on cloud 9 this year. Him winning the regular season championship has proven that. Has proven my theory, and on top of that, he's just been in the conversation. I feel like more than ever. I don't think it's far fetched to see him. Bell is not enough. Is one that I wouldn't be surprised either. Bell's another one that has really turned it on, especially in high pressure situations. I feel like that 20 team is going to find a way to at least get to the championship 4, give themselves a shot. So, yeah, I wouldn't be. There's a few guys, but I mean, as far as the actual bracket on who makes it to the final 4, I don't think that's a far fetched, take whatsoever.
Thank you, Mason Maggio. We'll see how it all pans out. Again, we have Talladega in the round of 8, so none of our predictions might not be correct whatsoever. So we'll find out. But we got about 8-ish minutes left in the show here. We've covered majority of things NASCAR. We got Gateway coming up this weekend. We just got done with Darlington. We've talked about Drewski Skits, iShow Speed, Cup Series playoffs. Let's talk about it. It's going to be a big day in a few days. Steven Malazzi's team's got to defend the chip. It's week 1 of the NFL season.
Oh no,
I don't like this part of the year.
Guess what?
Because we got NASCAR going on at the same time as the NFL. I don't like it. It's take one or the other. But
we're not even talking trucks at Xfinity today, RJ, are we? Huh? We're just aborting them, I guess.
We talked about trucks a little bit.
No, it's fine. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Jeez, man. Thought you'd be excited to talk about your Birds playing in the kickoff game on Thursday Night Football.
Why would I be excited to watch us drop a 75 deuce burger on the worst team in the NFL? Let me tell you something, okay? I don't know what death smells like. I imagine it smells like Jerry Jones. I don't know what straight ass smells like, but I imagine it smells like the New York Giants.
Wow.
I don't know what a rookie regression smells like, but I imagine it's Jaden Daniels. Okay.
Whoa.
All I'm saying is Birds. By the way, I drafted Jaden Daniels in like 2 fantasy leagues, so I actually hope he does okay. Jeez. But end of the day, I'm also not that upset if he doesn't. Checkered flag dad for the first time ever. Fuck you, buddy.
Whoa!
No!
All right, that's a 10-second timeout for Steve Malazzi. He cannot say that to Checkered Flag Dan.
I will not tolerate checkered flag.
That's just brutal, man. I mean, the Packers are going to be on a roll. Micah Parsons, you guys are going to be great. So we can let Steven in back here if he's going to say something nice to Checkered Flag Dan.
The fucking Packers suck.
All right. So anyways, we're going to look at the rest of this schedule here. Mason, do you have a favorite NFL team? Have we even ever asked you this?
No, I'm gonna be real. Racing consumes my life more than I would hope. But hey, I hope all the players have fun.
All right.
But no, I'll watch the Super Bowl. Trying to pay more attention to college football. I got a lot of friends that are off at FSU, so always trying to keep up with a little bit of college football, and I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn more.
Alpha at FSU doing what?
Putting a spanking on Alabama, I heard. So
for sure.
That's what I heard. But yeah, I had a buddy that actually.
All right, Checkered Flag Dan, I love you. I love you, Checkered Flag.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, man. I saw slates of matchups this week. Looking forward to it. The parlays are certainly On the board, I'm a New Orleans Saints fan, guys. So when you ever think it can get worse, it can't get much worse than what this season might be. Now I'm optimistic.
Yeah.
I'm optimistic. I think the Saints win week 1. I think we beat the Cardinals because I think the Cardinals suck. Kyler Murray's proved he's not it. That team has literally nothing, has not proved to me they're going to be anything this season. I think, and if the Saints are anything, they come out the first few weeks swinging. Kellen Moore is going to come out swinging. We're going to come out swinging, and we're going to lose the rest of our 14 games in the season. But you know what? I think we win this week.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, I mean, I think the Dolphins are kind of right there as well. And I hate saying that because that's my home team, or home state, rather. But the Dolphins are kind of ass.
All right. Yeah. Real quick, we got 3 minutes. Trucks, Xfinity. Here's what I got. Trucks. Corey Heim, not the best truck, still wins. You know why? Because he's the freaking GOAT. That 11 team is dialed in every freaking week. It's unreal how good they are. He's consistently. I don't remember the last time he was not one of the top 5 trucks on the racetrack. Here he's probably third. I think the front row trucks were both better. Both ran into problems. Both done right. But otherwise, Heim, always consistent, always great. Rarely makes a mistake. The hallmark of a champion. If he is not a champion, it is exactly why the playoff system is flawed. Moving on to Xfinity. There we go. Connor Zilic. I cannot believe this.
Yeah, that's it.
This is true, right? Connor Zilic has won quite literally every Xfinity race but one since July 12th.
Okay, I'm not surprised. I mean, dude's a masterclass. He's literally the prophecy come to fruition. All right.
Right. But do you understand that his average finish? I'm doing some math. Is 1.5 right now.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean,
in the past 7 races. I mean, look, he was a spin away at Iowa from winning 8 straight. Because you remember, did he get dumped fully or did he just get contact? What happened there? Was he in one?
Contact.
It was
if I remember
JRM massacre.
Yes. It was
a abysmal Monday meeting at JRM.
Correct. Yeah. And he still finished 4th, right? Without that, he was the dominant car on the day. He was probably going to win that race too. So honestly, just unfathomable how crazy photo to Paul Blair talking about.
Shout out Matt D.
For free.
Also, wait, side note, he got back in and kept going after this. Which am I confused on the NASCAR rules?
I don't think he did.
I thought he did.
I heard something like that too on Bob Parker's tweet, and I was like,
"What?"
I was wondering the exact same thing because I was like, "Wait, like pretty much if your window net is down and you're out of the car, you're can't get back in it." Yeah,
that's exactly what I thought.
Maybe they were like, maybe they cut him slack. I don't know. Who knows what officials they sent over to Portland? Let's be honest.
So wait, real quick. He finished 22 laps down. Let me look at the timeline real quick for when he didn't he have an issue in stage 1?
This was pretty late in the race.
Yeah, I think his floorboard caught on fire.
That's
why
was
he
late
has to take off his shoes. Oh,
he gave a whole care center interview and everything. I didn't think he got back in the car. There's no way. There's no shot.
The only caution I see is lap 25. Is this turn 8?
I might be dyslexic.
Yeah, it beats me, dude. Freaking Portland.
God, I wish I could beat you.
I led a lap at Portland. It did not count. Never forget.
You led a lap at Portland that didn't count?
Yeah.
Portland doesn't count as a racetrack.
There's a funny story behind that. But
hell, like, I mean, what a fit! Like this. I mean, it reminds me of trucks going back to Milwaukee. I mean, just what a failure of a return to a racetrack that they've done. It's just almost like they didn't care.
Sorry. This is lap 25 in the race. Dibby only finished 22 down, which means he had 55 or 56 laps completed. They let him get back in the car, which I didn't ever think. Sorry, I don't even know what you guys were talking about because I was so invested in this. I did not mean to interrupt. I totally thought it was a straight up rule that once you got out of the race car, you were done. And you're right. He gave a care center interview.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Guess we'll never know. Next week on the Motor Stardom Show, Steven finds Elliott Sadler's Pocono crash.
Oh my God. No, Michigan crash.
Michigan? I thought it was Pocono.
There's a whole other separate crash that NASCAR is
know,
keeping confiscated.
Oh.
Do you never
Back
hear
in like
Sadler talk about it?
2002 or some shit like that.
Yeah, where he's like NASCAR called me into the hauler. They showed me the clip. And they're like, watch this because you're never going to see it again. And they buried it because apparently he got higher than the catch fence.
Yeah, in the Wood Brothers car. I remember hearing something like that from a few people, and I think he confirmed that, like on the Dale Jr. download or something like that. And I was like, because I mean, he's long retired at this point. He's like, I don't care. I'm not racing again. And I just remember being jaw drawn, like crazy.
Like that. Well, maybe we'll get Elliott Sadler on the show someday. We'll have him talk all about it. One show today. Got Steven to apologize to Checkered Flag Dan. Excited for the NFL week coming up, but definitely excited for Gateway. First time I believe NASCAR's really ever headed this track at this time of year. September, we get an Xfinity night race, which is cool. I mean, that's the classic. That's what they used to do back then. I grew up watching Xfinity night races at Gateway. So going to be fun to see how that race pans out. And then we have the Cup race on Sunday. Don't know exactly what the temperatures are going to be, but will it be a Penske show? Will it not? Will Hendrick be able to come back? What will the cut line look like when we finish that race? Because we know that will be what we have going into the Bristol night race. We're going to have a lot to preview. Hopefully it's a better race.
The question on everybody's mind, of course, will Stephen Malazzi finish a race this season? That is what everyone's wondering. Tune in next week. Motor Stardom Show. We do this. Where's the music?
Sorry, I didn't know you were.
I didn't know you.
We do this every single week. Sometimes Mason Maggio yaps for 36 minutes. Other times, he sits there with that exact expression on his face and does not ever move. What are you going to get? I don't know. Could be one, could be the other. Sometimes I show up in a white beater. Other times I show up in a freaking... Oh, this isn't a white beater. Look at that sunburn. Look at that. Yeah, baby. Now.
Hey, thanks everybody in the chat tonight. We got to get the chat's been active lately. We appreciate all of you guys.
Yes.
Davis, we got Lyle Toledo in here. We got Christian Riley. We got Checkered Flag Dan in the chat and others watching as well from home. Just got to thank everybody in the chat for supporting it. It's nicer. We feel like we're having more of a conversation when you guys are getting active.
Wait. Cut the music. Cut the music. Cut the it.
Cut the music.
Ready? Mason Maggio. Take us away. Roll the music, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are the Motor Stardom. This is RJ Sarcevic. He does really cool articles and shit. This is Stephen Malazzi. He runs the full race sometimes. I'm Mason Maggio. I finish 28th every week in Xfinity Series. Almost every week in Xfinity. But here, every Tuesday, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, we're here to talk all things NASCAR every single night. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope everybody has a great night. We'll see you next Tuesday.
And shout out Amir Alexander.
Shout out Amir Alexander.
Love Amir Alexander.